Hello everyone, I'm Akif Nawaz, and in today's class, the focus is on what linguistics is not. In our previous lecture, we had a discussion on linguistics in detail. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure to watch. Now, let's get started with what linguistics is not. Now, there are certain sophisticated terminologies that I have written on the board. Not polyglottism, prescriptivism, and not correcting accents. Now, these are the terminologies. First, we'll try to understand, then we'll associate it with our topic. Now, polyglottism. Polyglottism is a terminology that is used for a person who knows several languages. Now, there comes another idea, that is bilingualism. Means if a person knows how to talk or understands two languages. So he is considered as a bilingual, but a polyglot is the one who knows several languages. Now, why am I saying that this linguistics is not at all about polyglottism? Now, because of the fact that there can be a person who can understand, who can speak several languages, but that does not make him a linguist. Why am I saying this? Because we need to know how this language works. So the usage of language in different contexts is far more important than only understanding the language in relationship with the linguist. So I hope you would have got the idea. The next one is not prescriptivism, but prescriptivism is a term that is used for the rules and regulations that are written on the page. Now, let me give you a very simple example. For example, there's a person who visits a doctor and he's having some problem. So the doctor writes something on the page and that is considered as prescription. Now the same goes for language. If there is an expert, which is called as a grammarian, a person who writes grammar. So if there is a person who writes rules and regulations of a language, so we can say that by following only the rules and regulations and to come up with a language, we say that this is the prescriptive approach. So prescriptive grammar, prescriptive approach focuses only on the rules and regulations that are written on the page. Now, if you're only focusing on these rules and regulations, definitely you will be stuck somewhere that whether this sentence is correct or incorrect. But if you look at this terminology of linguistics, it's a broader terminology. So you're not stuck whether it's correct or incorrect. Rather, your focus is on the usage of language, whether in terms of spoken or written. Now, this leads us to the next point, not correcting accents. So linguistics again is not only related to correcting accents. Now, we know that there are so many different varieties of English language, and accent is the way we speak, the way we utter words. So we have different varieties, like we have American English, we have British English, we have Australian English, we have Chinese, Pakistanis, Indian English, etc. So these are the different varieties. Now, the interesting part is that we are not stuck as linguists to correct or to say whether this accent is good or bad. Rather, we compare these accents in order to find out variations, that how this structure means one thing and how this structure means another thing in different accents. Now, I hope you would have got the idea that linguistics is not only polyglottism, not limited to prescriptivism, and not only limited to correcting accents. So, what do we get at the end of the day? Now, a linguist does not judge, rather observe. So, we as linguists, we do not judge, rather we observe. Now, let me give another example. For example, there is a scientist. So, a scientist does what? He observes nature. And the same goes for a linguist. A linguist does what? He observes a language. That how a language is used in different contexts and how do we manipulate language in order to get what we actually want. So I hope you would have got the idea, and that's it from my side. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.